Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to our evening show. And if you're here for the first time, this is Gashis Kaiman, the tallest man in Black Africa. A number of people have called me to give my take on Ruto's Jamuhuri speech. And it is good when you engage me. And because I've always opined that this is your channel where we interact freely and we say what is in your mind. So if you are here for the first time, kindly subscribe to this channel and you can also share and like this video. So when you listen to William Samoei Ruto's speech, you see something that is not well coordinated because it moves from one item in an uncoordinated way to the other. It lacks what we call the flow, good flow. It is not flowing. And I think William Samoei Ruto is better giving unwritten speech than written speech. I think the speechwriter needs to put his house in order because what he writes is not something that you can actually admire. But when Ruto is talking, Ruto is gifted with the gabs. He's a very good orator. Mugala muwe na haki umpe. But when you listen to the speech, you may not get the actual substance of what the speechwriter intended to do or to achieve. And that is why you find in some instances, Ruto is not even reading the speech. And this is what brings confusion. So unlike Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta or Kibaki, who would read the speech written in a coherent way, in a very good flow, this is what is lacking in William Samoei Ruto's speech. All in all, when you look at William Samoei Ruto, UDA is very good at giving promises. They give a lot of promises, but fulfills very little. Wanatimiza machache sana kulingana na yale ambao wameahidi. And I think there's no need of giving so many promises when you know that you cannot be able to fulfill some of these promises. Because I think and I believe these promises are the one that put William Samoei Ruto's government into great task. This is where the opposition will carpet William Samoei Ruto. Because we believe Kalonzo will be the 6th president of the Republic of Kenya. If he could be keeping a record of all these promises, I think he has what I call fodder for Azimio. Kwa sababu wakati utafika, and because when you look at William Samoei Ruto, they gave there was time he gave the promise of stadiums in 6 months. I remember that song that was not melodious. Haukuwa na mahadhi. Ule wa stadium 6 months, characteristic what, the stadium in Kirigiti, the stadium in what. Remember the song of the laptops never fulfilled up to date. Up to date, what Kenya hajajua what happened to the laptops. And those students, I think, are in, is it Form 2? Yeah, they are going Form 3, those who are promised laptops. Na tena ukiangalia and wanazidi kutoa ahadi baada ya zingine. I think Kenyans would have been happier if they went home knowing that if they left the stadium knowing that they are going to buy Oga at shilling 70. They would have been happier if William Samoei Ruto lowered the fuel prices. And mark you, the price of fuel will be adjusted, I think, on Wednesday. So keep watching this channel because we are going to inform you about the fuel prices. And we don't expect much change. Although for sure, the barrel, cost per barrel has gone down and we expect the government to lower the cost of fuel. But you realize that, I don't know whether you have realized that the cost of electricity has been adjusted upwards. If you check your latest billing, you realize that the cost has been adjusted upwards. So Kenyans didn't get much. Kenyans have a lot of expectations from this government. Kenyans are waiting for Pesa Mfukoni. They have not seen anything. People are crying. Although the issue of digital whatever is something good, and innovation and monetizations of content, that's a good thing if you ask me. It is going to put some money in some people's pocket, especially those who are content creators. But again, is this going to be fulfilled? And the other thing is that when you look at William Samuel Ruto, he didn't recognize anywhere the struggle for independence. He didn't recognize even our heroes. He didn't even recognize our second liberators. Maybe because he played very little part. Again, I think he doesn't recognize these people. He doesn't take them seriously. And I want us to look at the example of Mokami, the wife of Kimathi, who was butchered by the British government. During Kibaki's time, the Mokami would receive state protection, would receive government car, the government would provide her with food, the government with, in fact, there's a government that brought her to Karioko from the cold Nyadarwa mountains, I think in Kinago, and settled her in Karioko, and the government would cater for her medicine. I remember there was a time she was not feeling well, but Kibaki employed a nurse, and the nurse was always on standby to assist this liberation heroine. But when you look at William Samoei Ruto, and even somehow I blame Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, this is something that ended with Kibaki's reign. This is something that ended because what you realize is that this government does not haitabui wale ambao walipigania uhuru, because as I said in my other video, the people who benefited most from independence of this republic are the home guards. It's not even the watu wa Maumau, wazee wa Maumau. In fact, there are some men who are in the forest and their children are landless. Their children have nowhere that they could call their home. Their children have no education simply because of poverty. Some of their children are living in thatched mud houses, which do not fit to be called homes. It is become a pago, like caves. And this is independent Kenya for you. A country with a government. A country that is expected to value its freedom fighters has ignored its own. The country that is supposed to support the freedom fighters has no business with such people. I think, again, when you look at William Samoei Ruto's speech, you realize that other than what is written, there's nothing that what we call off-the-cuff remarks. And this is what, if you want to know the leader, this is what the leader thinks, because whatever he's reading is something that has been written by somebody else. It's not his mind. Yes, sometimes he gives his input of what he wants to be included in his speech. But all said and done, off-the-cuff remarks tells Kenyans, tells people, tells the listener what you think about the country, what you think about us, what you think about many things. It is also good to tell the people where we are, where we come from, because unless people knows about their history, they cannot know about their future. Because we say the past explains the present, and history is a very good teacher. There's no way we can ignore history. We may try to ignore history, and that is why I like Raila Amolo Odinga, because Raila Amolo Odinga will always visit history. Will always tell us something about the past. But there's some people who have been castigating him, wakimuita mtu wa hadithi, mtu wa pauko pakawa. Yes, this is what we want, because there's something we can learn and avoid some mistakes. Because if we can repeat the mistakes that were done by our forefathers, that were done by various governments, I think this country can be able to move forward. This country can be able to go far. This country needs to be united. Because I didn't hear anywhere that he was trying to rally Kenyans to unite. Because it is important to unite the country. You know, the president is the symbol of national unity. And much as we may respect his office, we expect him also to try to unite Kenyans. Let him rally, because Kenya is hopelessly divided, whether people like it or not. We have two countries in one. We have the blue state and the yellow state. Let the blue state feel that they are part of this government. Again, we don't see anything to do with the corruption. How is going to tackle corruption? Hakusema hata neno moja. Kinywa chake nafikiri hakijawahi kutamka neno ufisadi. tangu aingie mamlakani, and Kenyans want to know the plans he have to tame this dragon of corruption. I don't know whether the dragon is too powerful for him, because if you ask me, I think nobody is talking about it in the government. It is important. As much as we want to talk about taxation, paying taxes, because this government is very good at telling people to pay taxes, which is a good thing in my view. But now the problem comes when you're overtaxing people. Let people pay the taxes, but don't overtax them. Also, let people be assured that their money will be safe. Let people be assured that the taxes they are paying will be used prudently, because without a prudent use of the resources of the taxation money, basi inaweza kuwa vigumu sana kuambia watu waendelee kulipa kodi, iwe ni kodi ya aina gani. Again, when you look at the speech itself does not inspire much hope. It doesn't inspire. It is not inspiring. You know, as a reader, you need to give an inspiring speech. You need to give a speech full of hope. At a time like this, when many Kenyans are despairing because of the high cost of living, because of so many problems, right, center, where I think there is need to give them hope. Because without hope, we will perish. So if you're here for the first time, as I said, kindly remember to subscribe this channel. She's coming to the Tallest Man in Black Africa. And may you have a blessed Jamuhuri evening. Bye-bye.